so many places, I've seen them all with open eyes. Seen Ireland's open spaces, Serengeti sun.
So this morning I'm in Stow-on-the-Wold. It's probably one of the better known small towns and villages in the Cotswolds. I think people living here since the Iron Age. Back in the Saxon times, there was a missionary who lived a hermit's life by a well to the south of the town. His name was Edward, and at that time that brought forth the name St. Edward's Stow, or St. Edward's Holy Place. And as time went by, that became Stow-on-the-Wold. Wold is a hill, so it's basically means Stow-on-the-Wold means a holy place on the hill.
All these memories, I hold them near me when I sail the Aegean Sea. But there's one place for me.
So the main reason for me coming here today is to give you a bit of a pot of history, I guess, show you the Cotswold town, and hopefully take some photographs. The sun's coming up, it's another glorious day in the Cotswolds, so fingers crossed.
Take me to the place where I come from, the only place where I really belong. Take me 'cause this voyage seems so long.
So Stow's another one of those market towns that made its money from the wool sales in the Cotswolds. Back in the 18th century, they could sell up to 20,000 sheep in the marketplace, where we'll go later on. There's still evidence of the wool trade here. So this main street is called Sheep Street, and a lot of narrow alleys where they used to ferry the sheep through so they get them to the market.
Judging from here, you're all alone. Do you ever dream of a happy home? I'm wishing that everyone finds their place. I'm wishing the world more grace. One more night, one more day.
So I'm still at the end of a perfect one of those sheep runs I was talking about earlier. So I'll take you down it. I'll speed it up so you don't get bored.
I'm getting chills when they tell me you're not yourself. Trying to move, but it's hard, I'm out of breath. Oh, nothing belongs to you in life. Oh, the picture of you cuts like a knife. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, they're running in circles, circle of fools. Whatever we will miss, got nothing to prove. But in the dark, I'm starting to. Whatever they call us, whatever they'll do, we're running together. I'll be here for you. Whatever we will miss, we'll find something new.
By the way, if you're watching any of these videos and you wonder how I get video footage or photographs with very few people in them, and basically I've been here since 5 o'clock this morning, so that's the secret really. So Stow-on-the-Wold has quite a military background as well, historical background. It was the site of the very last battle of the English Civil War, which took place on the 21st of March in 1646. So I'm stood on the Fosse Way now. It's one of the main routes through Stow-on-the-Wold. Back in the day there were 8 routes that came through, all came to a head within Stow-on-the-Wold. In fact, if you look down the street, you can see 4 of them coming together. The Civil War was a roaming kind of war, it wasn't fought in one particular place. So the Royalists under King Charles I and the Parliamentary Army under Sir William Waller all used to pass through here regularly, and it was inevitable that they'd meet and have a fight at one point, and they did in 1646. It was a hell of a mess by all accounts, and we're going to look at some of the sites.
I heard that you cried. Come this way, let me be a friend. My home's open wide. We can live here. We can die.
So the war that went on in this particular town went on through all the streets, finally ended up in the marketplace, which is where we're walking to now.
There's nothing to fear if you try, if you keep believing, like rain falling soft.
So this is where it all came to an end. So Sir Astley on the Royalist side and Colonel Thomas Morgan on the Parliamentary Army met here, hacked it out. Astley got captured and it was all over. 1,000 people got imprisoned, or kept captive in the church, which is just behind us. And the wounded and the dead were piled up here in this street, and by all accounts the blood ran down the street and ran into Digbeth Street. And Digbeth reportedly comes from Duck Bath, so Duck Bath relating to all the blood that ran down the street, and then finally over time it became Digbeth. I don't know, believe it or not, seems to make sense. So as I said earlier, there's been a settlement here since the Iron Age, and obviously the town's grown up around it. And the shop we just took there, that's the oldest inn. So from 947 AD there's been a dwelling there. That's quite impressive. This marketplace building was put together from unclaimed funds from the bank. Must be quite a lot of money in there. So now I'm going to head to St Edward's Church, where, as I was saying earlier, all those prisoners were kept. There's quite a special doorway there, so let's go and see. So as I came into the churchyard, I noticed the sun was shining on this door here, and it's a north facing door, so I doubt that happens very often. So I just rushed in, dropped everything, took some photographs, so hopefully they came out. So I've put the church doorway front and centre. I've captured the arch window on the left. There's not much in the way of foreground interest because it's too bright out here with the sun and it's too dark back there with the door. I did try and capture this gravestone in the front, but if you can see, it's really bright. And if you look from here, the door's really dark. So I've bracketed, and I'll see how that comes out when I get home and do some post-processing. I bet there aren't too many churches in the world where one of the doors is encased in 2 yew trees. It's quite impressive. I think I read somewhere that Tolkien took some of his inspiration from this church and this doorway. So that's me done now with Stow-on-the-Wold. Hopefully a bit of a historic tour, bit of interest from the town. Come and have a look for yourselves. So if you enjoyed this video, please hit the subscribe button. If you didn't, for some reason, leave me a comment and I'll make the next one better. Alright, thanks then, bye.